Happy Friday, everyone. You made it. Welcome into 19 at noon. We're tracking a first alert weather day for tomorrow, but you got to remember that it is conditional, that severe weather setup. So we're going to break down what things look like just a little over 24 hours away from that widespread severe threat. So if you have any questions, by all means, I am more than happy to answer them. Keep in mind that the forecast, there's still a good deal of uncertainty, but we're finally getting a better idea of the timing of things and exactly when we're going to be watching for those more potent thunderstorms to be arriving. Right now, though, things are shaping up to be warm and quiet. The Queen City at 71 degrees. We're actually already starting to see those upper level clouds coming on in, a filtered look to the sun. And that's going to keep us from getting too warm too quickly, but at the same time, the low 70s for this time of year and for this time of day, it is certainly notable. It's 12:02 in the afternoon, and typically those daytime highs for this time of year are in the mid to low 50s, so 70s. How about making lunch plans, making dinner plans, just driving home with the windows down? It's really going to be a fantastic day for it, and those winds are going to kick up later on this afternoon. We're already seeing them sustained up to about 15, maybe closer to 20 miles per hour. That's seen a little bit outside of our viewing area towards Flemingsburg, but at the same time, this wind and the gusto to the winds later on today, that's when we're expecting those warmer temperatures. And that, of course, while it is nice today, that means tomorrow's round of showers and storms, both of those rounds have a lot of heat to work with. So we'll take a look here at satellite and radar, because while things are quiet, the bigger picture does say and suggest that storms are brewing, and we're going to see several rounds across the eastern United States. And we're actually already seeing that first one. You see it just east of Wichita into western Missouri. It's a very thin line that we're seeing right there. I'm going to circle it. There it is right there. But we're going to be watching for gusty winds as soon as today, and we're going to be getting the rain tomorrow. So 78 today. The help from the southerly breeze is going to allow us to hit the upper 70s to lower 80s across the entire viewing area. Plenty of daylight today. Sunset at 7:45. So we're going to get to the timing of the potentially severe weather for tomorrow here in just a second. I know we've got a lot of St. Patrick's Day events happening this weekend. We've also got the Heart Mini Marathon on Sunday, and I know a lot of people very curious on how this setup is going to come into play. And so tomorrow, the St. Patrick's Day parade, that kicks off at noon. It's going to be soggy, it's going to be wet, it's going to be breezy. Not ideal conditions, but I think the heaviest rain from that first round will be east of the Cincinnati metro by about this time. I think we still need to monitor radar for any of those lighter rain showers, but I think the more intense showers will be done. But we're still waiting for the heavy second round to be coming on in, and that'll do so around 4 o'clock. So hopefully the stars align, or I guess the clouds align, to where the St. Patrick's Day parade is minimally affected by both rounds of these showers and these storms. And right now, that's what we're seeing. Just, I guess it's 24 hours from now. So tomorrow, what's on tap and what do we need to be looking out for? Our forecast hasn't changed a whole lot at all. We're just getting a better idea of when we're seeing certain parameters, and our concern still remains in the heavy winds. That's going to be throughout the entire day there on Saturday, excuse me. Sunday's still breezy, but not as breezy as Saturday. And then the heavy rain, that's mainly geared towards that second round into Saturday evening. We're seeing 2 inches, give or take, and then we're also seeing some areas climb closer to 3 inches of rain possible. So on that impact level scale range, however you want to describe it, from 1 to 5, we're at a 2 for most of the viewing area. I'm going to go ahead and show you what the Storm Prediction Center has put out for day 1 and day 2. This is day 1, so this is today's severe storm risk. So technically, it's from 8 o'clock in the morning Friday to 8 o'clock in the morning Saturday. So this does include that first batch of showers and storms, or at least the severe risk for those. And so the zoomed out image kind of has a bullseye with St. Louis right in the middle of that potential for a tornado outbreak. You just can't rule it out. And as you can see, from west to east, the chance for those severe storms quickly drops. We've got that weakening line of thunderstorms from west to east. I think out towards Decatur County, I would not be surprised if we got some wind gusts that were severe. I think it's an isolated concern, but it's still possible. And as it approaches, that line of storms approaches Cincinnati, we will see less and less thunder, less gusty winds, but the rain will kind of stick around to the point where those out towards Lewis County, even out there towards Adams County, Highland counties, you guys aren't technically in a risk for these severe storms. Again, this is the first round. The second round is a completely different story, and it does depend on how that first round behaves. So, of course, it's one of those things that we're really just going to have to be watching a few hours before. And, of course, that's what we'll be doing. So tomorrow, you'll notice that the bullseye for any really significant severe storms is far, far south of the area, down towards Alabama, Mississippi, and parts of Louisiana. But a little bit closer to home, you'll see that all of us are in some sort of category. And in this case, in the tri-state, we're all under that slight risk, which is why I just showed you we're a level 2 out of 5. So this is going to be that late afternoon batch of heavy winds, heavy rain, and then that conditional setup for severe storms. And that time frame that we're watching very closely for those severe storms, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's a very small window. That's good. It's because the heavy rain that follows after will absorb a lot of that power. It will saturate the atmosphere, stabilize it, and that's what we want. We want the stabilizing atmosphere. But because we're seeing some dry time between round 1 and round 2, there we go, maybe flip it like this, between round 1 and round 2, then that we could very well see enough instability to fire off some of these stronger to severe thunderstorms. It's just possible, and some of those could create severe wind gusts, tornadoes, and some hail as well. So let's go ahead. I want to get into the timing really quickly because I'm sure there's a lot of questions that bank on the timing. So let's just cover all the questions right away and get right to it. Here is our first alert forecast model. This is what we're looking at right now at 12 o'clock on Friday. Half sun, half clouds. You don't really have to worry about much today other than the breezes and the really warm temperatures. Again, near record highs today. Now, while we are cooking with the temperatures, there is a storm cooking out west. You see how intense that line of storms looks. I mean, look at the cells. Yeah. It's going to be a scary night for some people. Here, not so much, but if you have family out that direction, by all means, make sure that they know what's heading their direction. So here's 2:30 on Saturday morning, 5 o'clock on Saturday morning. Just look at the difference. So here, I'm backing it up to give you an idea of how rapidly this sky is going to be declining and losing its intensity. So here's 1:30, here's 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. Like, there's still obviously some sort of organization to these thunderstorms, but we're losing less color, less intensity, and overall just showing signs that this first round will be de-intensifying. Is that a word? I don't know. I've been on the air for like 8 hours straight, guys, so bear with me. But it's losing a lot of steam. There's the words that I'm looking for as it approaches the tri-state. So we're expecting this to arrive in Decatur County closer to about 5 o'clock in the morning. Some showers, some potent thunderstorms as well, gusty winds. But look at 7:30. Very little organization at all to this weather maker. Yes, some thunderstorms still possible, but mainly looking at rain towards the later morning. Now, there is a break in between round 1 and round 2. And of course, that allows for a little more sun to come in. And you see this model, it's suggesting some pockets of sun in which the second round could initially feed off of that heat and spark off some of these severe storms, potentially severe storms, of course. And you kind of see that happening on our first alert forecast model right here. So let me back it up. It's always going a little ahead of me because see what happens. I want you to pay close attention. Here's one. We're getting into about 3 o'clock. You see that little cell just kind of popping up right there? Yeah, that's what we're going to be watching. It really depends if we get on the instability. If we have the instability, we will see this pop up. If we don't have the instability, then we won't see this pop up, but we're still going to get the winds and the rain. So that's why we're stressing those two things more than anything. But hail and tornadoes are possible with any of these strong thunderstorms that are able to feed off of any instability. So that's the time frame. We're suggesting about 4 to 7, but yeah, you just saw a second ago that maybe 3 o'clock as well. Closer to 7 though, this line of showers and storms will just take over with rain. Just look at this, yeah, a swath of rain. This is 8 o'clock on Saturday evening. I'm going to bring you to 5 o'clock Sunday morning because I know a lot of people are getting ready for the Heart Mini Marathon and things are looking better and better. It's still going to be wet. It's still going to be breezy. It's at least not going to be thunderstorming by the time things are going to be kicking off. Don't wear your favorite running shoes. I would suggest maybe the mud shoes, or to each their own. You guys know what to do. You're the pros here. But it's going to be wet, so plan for that. That's what I'm the pro at. So here's those rainfall totals. 2 inches is kind of that center piece, if you will, to our range. But you see down towards parts of Kentucky, northern Kentucky, 3 inches of rain. Areas well south of the area seeing higher totals than this, but I mean, obviously 2 inches of rain is kind of a lot, especially considering most of it is going to be falling within a 6-hour period. So brings up the question, are we looking at any flooding risk? And the answer is always, it's possible. I think it's more of a localized flooding risk. The river levels are incredibly low after the dry spell that much of the region has been experiencing recently. Warm temperatures certainly help with that as well. But of course, if the storm drains on the roads just aren't really that well kept, then of course 2 to 3 inches will do a lot to the roads and could do it pretty quickly. So just something to keep in mind. So the Heart Mini Marathon, that's kicking off Sunday at 7:30 in the morning. It's going to start pretty wet, and then, I mean, while we talk so much about how it's going to be wet, it's at least not going to be freezing cold. Look at those temperatures in the 50s to kick off your Sunday. The clouds sticking around. Maybe the sun comes out for a little bit. It really depends. But I think most of the heavy rain will be out of the area before the race starts, which is good. We weren't exactly sure about when things were going to wrap up, but it's looking a little bit better right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and see some questions about this real quick. Not a lot. That's hopefully because people have a good idea of when to expect those showers and storms. So we've got Caleb tuning in from Adrian, Michigan. Hi, Caleb. I hope you're well. And we've got Seth tuning in as usual. Hi, Erin. How are you doing on a Friday? I'm doing well. I am exhausted. I've been on the air since 4:30 this morning, but at the same time, I am now uber familiar with this forecast, so you know where to find that first alert. Anyways, we got Iris tuning in. Welcome, Erin. Thank you so much, Iris. I'm really happy to be here. Andrew tuning in. I've got my weather radio ready. Always good to have several ways to receive that weather information. Of course, the weather radio, that is I want to say one of the most reliable ways, if you, of course, keep it well energized with the batteries, of course. But you can also get that Fox 19 First Alert weather app, because I've been sending out notifications all morning on how today is going to play out and how today is going to affect tomorrow and things of that nature. It's very localized, and I highly suggest you download that. Not just because you can listen to me yap a little bit more, but also so you'll be the first to know if there is heavy rain in the area, if there's lightning in the area. You get a push notification to your phone, and it's very useful, especially if you're heading out on the Heart Mini Marathon. You will literally get a message on your phone that says heavy rain is near your location. Super useful. It's tailored exactly to where you are using location services. So not that that was a shameless self-plug, but it was pretty shameless. Okay, so we got others tuning in. Hello from Middletown, Ohio. Hi, Kathy. Hello from Erlinger. Hi, Ryan. And yeah, we're just going to be tracking a little bit more of those showers and storms come tomorrow. Like I mentioned, by Sunday morning, most of the heavy, concerning rain and winds going to be kind of out of the viewing area by then. We're still left over with some pretty gusty winds, though, for Sunday. So I'm going to take you over the next the next few days here on our future wind gusts, because While Saturday's that first alert weather day, today we feel the breezes. So 35 mile per hour is possible today. Tomorrow it starts off rather gusty out west towards Batesville. I mean, look, towards Batesville. Yeah, about 40 miles per hour that direction. That's the first round of showers coming into the equation. And then look at the wide spread. 45 mile per hour wind gusts. Yeah, maybe 50 possible with that initial line of showers and storms. Again, that time frame for anything that could fire off to be strong or severe is from 4 to 7 o'clock, and then it becomes a rain event. Tomorrow is going to be an active day. Sunday, you see here, is going to be a little less active. Still going to be quite breezy with 30 mile per hour wind gusts, but again, tomorrow really is the day in which those conditions really bear watching. So other things we do have to kind of keep in mind with a breezy day, a breezy, dry, warm day like today, is going to be the fire danger, which today when I was reading upon the special weather statement, they used the word very high to extreme fire danger is what they said in it. So yeah, if you're going to burn outside, don't. Today is not the day that you want to do that because we got relatively low humidity and wind gusts up to 30 to 35 miles per hour. We're coming off very warm temperatures. We're coming off a very dry spell. So any fire that can get lit outside can easily get out of control. And that's seen in the white all across the viewing area, all across southern Ohio, just with the really dry and breezy conditions that we expect throughout the afternoon today. So much of a good thing can sometimes be a bad thing. You just got to keep this in mind. Other things to give you that first alert to before we get to that 7-day forecast, I want to talk about the temperature trend a little bit. Because today, 78, near record, it's pretty short-lived. I mean, obviously, this weather maker we're tracking tomorrow will tumble those temperatures a little bit. It's not going to be too dramatic. That's the good news for your St. Patrick's Day holiday, because you'll see here on Sunday, we're still in the mid to upper 50s here in the tri-state area. A little bit cooler, and by cooler, I mean 55 degrees, which is still very seasonable for March. And then we start our upward trend again, 67 on Tuesday and 73 on Wednesday. So let's waste no time, get right into that first alert extended forecast, which keep in mind, while today is going to be really nice, you gotta watch out for those breezes and just that elevated fire risk. Tomorrow it's about the thunderstorms and the winds and the heavy rain. We gotta watch out from 4 to 7 for any of those strong to severe thunderstorms to spark off. We'll let you know if anything changes, but as of right now, things will clear the area by early Sunday morning, leaving behind some pretty cool conditions just relative to the 70s, 57 there, that high. Monday, St. Patrick's Day, mostly sunny at 55. We can't skip past that cold morning. If you're getting up and you're getting at them really early on St. Patrick's Day, you might want to have your favorite green coat. That's all I'm going to say. 33 degrees, no thank you. But 55, yes please. Mostly sunny there. Same thing with Tuesday, except we start to see that sun building off of each other, that heat. And then Wednesday, back in the 70s before you know it. And spring does what she does best and tumbles those temperatures with a side of rain showers. So we're riding the temperature roller coaster once again. Okay. So we've got questions coming in. We've got Andrew tuning in. He is asking, has the severe weather risk, say that 7 times really fast, has it gone down? No, it has not gone down. It's this entire time that's batch for severe weather, the potential for severe weather has been incredibly conditional, meaning that some models have it and others do not. It really just depends on if we get that dry time, we get that instability, because you need the instability to light off some of these thunderstorms. But if we don't get the dry time, if we don't get the sun, if we don't get the heat to light off these storms, then we might not get anything strong to severe. We're still watching, of course, that window from 4 to 7. I don't think it's gone down at all because, I mean, there's still a chance for those tornadoes to be firing off during that time. There's a non-zero chance for tornadoes out west of Cincinnati, even with that first round as well. So you really just want to stay weather aware, over the next 48 hours. I hope that answers your question. Okay, Chelsea tuning in. Will there be an overnight severe threat or just rain after the time frame? So tonight, really early Saturday morning, that's when we're seeing an overnight severe potential. I don't think it's for the entire tri-state area, but Chelsea, if you're tuning in from west of I-75, you could get some of those severe threshold wind gusts. Maybe it's isolated tornado will make it as far east into our neck of the woods. Again, that's a concern for those far west of us. As far as Saturday night, just rain. Just looking at heavy rain, maybe some thunder to start around 7 o'clock, and then the rain will continue until about 2 a.m. And that's just because the rain kind of stabilizes the environment a little bit, stabilizes the atmosphere, and it really helps keep things a little bit easier to handle, right? Easier to predict as well. That's why, I mean, Andrew, your question is absolutely warranted, asking if the severe weather risk has gone down. The answer is no. It just means that, or it depends. I hate saying that it depends, but it really just does. And some of our models have it and some of us don't. Okay. We have Andrew tuning in. Oh, he's still tuning in. Hi, Andrew. I like thunder and lightning, but I do not like the wind. Yeah, unfortunately, this could be quite a wind maker and for a few days, Andrew. I'm sorry about that. Molly tuning in. We are watching for 78 degrees. Hopefully you can enjoy it. I should be able to enjoy it. Thank you. Hopefully you can too. And she's asking how bad it is for Pleasant Plain, Ohio, and Cincinnati. So we are watching for, there's a greater risk for severe weather south. That's with that second batch. Claremont County, I'm going to pull up a map. Claremont County and Pleasant Plain area, you're under that slight risk. I definitely think you need to be staying weather aware. I pulled up the wrong map for you. Just because it's one of those situations where it really depends. Because if we get a lot of instability, and if Claremont County gets a lot of instability, we could see a line of severe storms from south to north, and then the rain will take over. But it's more likely that will happen south towards northern Kentucky. Claremont County, closer to Clinton County, a little less concerning in that neck of the woods, but still conditional, still needs watching. A lot of people tuning in asking about their respective areas. Hamilton area asks Laura. Now she's asking about Butler County. So yeah, Butler County is still under that slight risk. We're all under that slight risk. And if you want that updated timing, by all means, you can head to our website, fox19.com. Oh my gosh, I'm reverting back to Toledo. That's my cue, guys. I need to get off the air. So we'll be watching very carefully, and I'll of course be in tomorrow because that time frame for anything severe in the metro area that's possible, that's going to be from 4 to 7 o'clock, and then heavy rain will take over. We'll make sure everyone gets through it safe and sound. Thank you for tuning in on this Friday afternoon, and have a great rest of your day.